Hello friends, today I'm going to talk about polymorphism. What is polymorphism? Polymorphism is an object-oriented programming concept that refers to the ability of variable function or the object to take a multiple forms. Okay, generally it is kind of ability to appear in many forms, and the object may process differently depending on to the data type or the way it has been defined. So there are two kinds of polymorphism you would need to know. One is overloading, one is overriding. So there are these two concepts that you really need to understand very well. Okay, so let's go with some examples so that you can have better understanding. That's right. I'm going to create a new package for this, and I'll name polymorphism. So let's go ahead and create one class here. So this would be overload example. So what is the overloading? Overloading means you can use the same method within the same class but just provide different arguments, different signature. So in summary, yeah, so that's the polymorphism, overloading. Okay, so and that also applies with the constructor. So by now I believe you know what the constructor is, but let me go ahead and do quick recap. Okay, if you haven't, I have another video that explains well on this. So let me go ahead and create a new show you how the constructor overloading works. Okay, so first thing is, constructor is you have to write a constructor with the same name as the class name is. So if you don't define any constructor, compiler will create one for you and then it will run, right? So without a constructor you cannot really run, but if you don't define one, you'll get the default constructor, and default constructor will look like this: public constructor name and like this. So this is called zero argument constructor, same name as a class name as you see. So if you define one constructor, whenever you execute a program, it is going to first try to do the class loading, and when it does the class loading, it is looking for the constructors. If it is defined, it will take from here. If not, it will just provide just like this. Okay, so this is a constructor. Constructor is of the class, right? So let's go with what the constructor overloading means. Constructor overloading means now you have to define, you cannot just continue to write the same constructor, right? So you'll have to get different things. So let's say string name, right? So now this will be fine because you are giving different arguments. Okay, different arguments means different signature or different method signature you are giving. Okay, but this is same, this is going to be same. So what this is all constructor. You can give however you want and as many you want. Okay, so it could be name and it can be a string nationality, and it will still be fine. So what happens when you try to create an object of this now? So look, public so when you try to create an object or instantiate this class new, this is also fine because you have already one here, right? If you don't have this, let's say, what are the other options for you? So you can do O equals new and then give some name here, my name. Okay, this is also fine, as well as this is also my name and my nationality. Okay, so you see, with one single method, which is a constructor, you're able to pass so many things. So why we use this for the constructor is that because this piece of information may be helpful when you load the class. It depends on how your implementation is. Okay, I think that pretty much explains about the constructor overloading. So let's go with some of the method overloading. Okay, so I'll leave this here and I'll show you further down on this. So let's go with what the method overloading means. So public void do what do you say, print me. Okay, so here I want to just print out print me. Okay, just like that. So now you see what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the same method name. That's the main purpose of overloading. You use same method name within the same class. You cannot go outside of class. Same method name, different argument. Same method name, different argument. Same method name, different argument. Okay, so what the argument is, I want to just print this here, string print message. Okay, I want to not print this guy now. I want to print, I want to print this guy now. Okay, so you see here the examples are right. So let's format this guy. So if you see here clearly, I have a class. Overload example is my class, and I'm going to I created one default constructor. I created one with a single parameter. This is called overload. So this is basically the constructor. This all three are the constructor with the different arguments. So what you could do here with the overloading, you could do constructor overloading, you could do method overloading. Okay, these are the examples of the constructor overloading. So when you do the constructor overloading, when you try to instantiate this class, you'll have the three flexibility, right? So here in my case, I have a flexibility over three different parameters to pass. However, there may be situation they are trying to restrict that user from just creating default constructor, and every time they want to load the class with the two parameters, right? If that is the case, with this single one, you cannot work with that, right? So you'll have to always pass two things before when you want to run this. So here in that case, you'll have to have this guy here. Okay, so now what happens, let's see. When you run this guy, it is going to give you some message, right? So what is that message? That message is this guy. So because you don't have any message to print, so you couldn't see that. So name plus so now when I run this, it's going to run this guy out. It will print for you. So name. Okay, so what's next? What do you want to do? If you want to leave this guy over, it will do the same thing basically, but let's go with that. Now what I want to do, I will leave these guys over there, and I can now remove this guy. I'll keep it back to where it was. Okay, so what's next? What I want to do is I want to utilize these methods. So I'm using the same method name. If you see this, only the difference is this piece within this parenthesis. That's what's the difference. What this is doing, one method I'm just passing without a parameter, so I'm not parameterizing. Second thing, I'm parameterizing. You want to overload means you want to pass the different parameterization, like you want to pass the different argument. Basically you are giving different parameter within this method signature but you are entitled to use the same method name in the same class. Same method name, same class. Same method name, same class. Different signature all the time. Okay? And based on when you call this method, based on what you are passing, that's what is going to invoke. Okay? So let's call this print me message, and here you will see o dot, see here, you see print. When you try to write print, see, you have two options. You can take either one, but if you take the top one, it's just going to print the print me. Second one, you have to pass something you want to print. Okay, bingo. Okay, so let's run this. If you see this, the first message is being printed from the constructor overloading. Second message is being printed from the method overloading. I think this is pretty much clear. So do the quick recap on overloading. Overloading, same method, different arguments. It can work on constructor and methods. Okay, what you do, constructor is the same name. You don't have a void or return type in the constructor, so you just write public and then you write the class name. It's a case sensitive, same way you write. I have a 3 different constructor with a different parameters. Okay, I have couple methods with the same name but different arguments. Okay, so what I want to do next, I have this print len with the print message. I want to override this guy. How do I do that? Okay, let's go over overriding concept now. Overloading is clear now. You just use same class, different arguments. That is, and based on what you are being calling, what data you are passing, that method is going to run. So here you are passing bingo. It is looking for something with this message. It has looking for something with the parameters, right? If you wouldn't have passed this, it would go here. So here versus here, it is looking for this guy. I think this is pretty clear. So let's go with overriding example. Okay, new class. Okay, what is overriding? To make overriding, you have to understand inheritance very clearly. Overriding does not happen in the same class. It has to be different class, not getting object or instantiation. You have to extend the class. So only child can perform the overriding. Okay, there should be parent-child relation. Only child. You have to remember that very clearly. Okay, you get so many questions in polymorphism in interviews. So overriding, only child okay, and then what else you need to know? Okay, only child will be able to override. And what's next? So you cannot override static, final, and what else? Final can't even be inherited, not even private. Private you can't even read private. Or so you have to understand these 3 things. So let's go over this. Okay, and there's no constructor thing here. Okay, constructor only works in the same class. There's no inheriting and constructor. Those are separate things. Let's go with this now. So I want to create a method, public I have a this class. Let's get this class over. This is very simple. O equals new. Okay, so what I want to do, I'll have to extend, like I said above, only parent child relation, only child can do it. So to be this guy child, I need to call the other guy. So when I call this guy, look at this, public void print me. I guess that's it, right? Is that the method I have? Print me. I have two methods, okay, both of this method. So what you need to understand is, in the overriding, when you already extended and you're trying to run this method from the child class, okay, then if there's any method that is the same name as a parent, then it will try to run from here. If there's any method that is not common as this, if there are any parent's method that is not here, then it will run from the parent. You have to know that too. There's any method that is in the child class that contains the same name as a parent and which is being overridden, it will take the overridden method. If there's any method that is from the parent and which is not overwritten in a child class, then it will run from the parent class. So if you have to know that too. So I have a print me without this parameter. Okay, I have two method here. One is without the parameter, one is with the parameter, which means if I call this guy, I have only relation with this. This has nothing to do with that. Okay, let me try that first. So print me, I'm not passing anything. Okay, here, what is this? It is trying to run this, right? I'm trying to just override. My friends, don't get confused. Override doesn't have to be changed. Even if you call that twice from the different class, that's already been overridden. You can remove this guy, that's override. You can just leave it like this, it's override. Okay, don't get confused that you have to change. You already overrode when you call this guy twice. This guy is already be defined in different class, in a parent class, and you are calling that again with the full method you're writing. That means it's override. Okay, don't get confused. O dot print me, so it is running from here. Even though this has there, you see that it is running from here. Now look at this. Now I don't want to do this. I want to O dot one with the this. I want to invoke with I want to print this guy. Now look at this. If I want to go to this declaration, look where it goes. It goes to the different class. So when you have that here, you try to go to declaration, it goes here. And if you see here, to get this link, you have to hit the control button, okay, in your keyboard. Now I see open the super implementation. Now it goes here, okay? You have to know that. So let's run this guy out. What happens? It is running Charlie Chaplin. It is running print me. This is running from parent class. This is running from child class. Okay. So print me is print me. What is here? Oh wait. Let me. So let's run this again. Do not print me. Okay, so this is basically the overriding. You are overriding, you already overrode the method just the way you would implement the interface, and you are pulling all of those methods over same way. But here's the case for extending the class. you have to be from the parent class. You are extending your parent class, and then you are rewriting the same method with the same argument. What is the difference? Very, 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 very important. Okay? Overriding, same, different class, child class, overrides method. Okay? Same method name, same method signature or parameters. Totally vice versa. Do the same thing for overloading. Same method name, different method signature. So no child class has to be in same class. So no overriding here, no, and then it's not overriding now, it's overloads. Overloads, same. Okay, so these are the two concepts that you need to understand in order to understand the overriding and overloading. One is you have overloading, one is overriding. Overloading, you have same class, same method name, different signature. Overriding, child class, parent class relation, and same method is being invoked or rewritten in the child class with the same method, and this time it is going to run from the child class. If there's no method defined in the child class, then it will run from the parent class. So I hope that is clear, pretty crystal clear, and I hope this was very helpful for you. And thank you for watching